Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly review Hadean Tactics. This is a game that's coming to Steam's Early Access program in about 7 days, as of the date and time of this recording, so it goes without saying that everything that you're about to see here, including this review, is subject to change. So what is Hadean Tactics? Well, I covered this briefly during one of the Steam game festivals. I don't know if it was like the Autumn Festival or whatever. It was a demo that I played for like half an hour. Well, Hadean Tactics is a roguelike deck building game with auto battler mechanics fused in along with it. It's like a roguelike deck builder, like Slay the Spire, in the sense that you've got this overworld map, you choose an encounter, and when you're done with that encounter, sometimes you're given the option to go this way or this way, and then you encounter something else, and then you go this way or this way, then you encounter something else. Whenever you do combat in a deck builder roguelike, you usually have, say, 3 action points or 3 mana points to spend on your turn to play cards. You're usually dealt a hand of like 5 cards, and each card has a mana or energy cost associated with it. Well, you've got the same thing going on here. You're also going to be collecting relics, which are permanent bonuses. Again, for those of you that have played a deck builder roguelike, there's barely any differences there. What makes this game unique is the auto battler stuff. Okay, now for those of you that don't know what an auto battler is, there are a couple of games that I own that I really enjoyed playing. I don't remember the names off the top of my head, but typically you build a team of monsters or heroes, you outfit them with equipment, and then you send them on missions and they just automatically battle for you. So you kind of have to really think about team composition, how you're pairing things together, their abilities, their skills, and so on. Now, I'm sorry to say that there's no RPG elements in the sense that you can't outfit your monsters in this game. You're an undead team. You cannot outfit them with, say, chest plates or boots. I would like to see that, but you can't. You can, however, level them up. They start off, like, if you look at their portrait, it's just a plain portrait. When you upgrade them once, they go to bronze portrait, and then silver portrait, then gold portrait. So you can upgrade them, and whenever you do upgrade them, they gain stats and, say, health or DPS, or they gain a skill of some kind. So you can level them up when you reach certain points on your branching paths, but unfortunately you can't, like, attach equipment to them. That's one thing I would love to see. But anyway, so a typical battle plays out something like this. You're presented with a grid, and then you can choose where to place your units. They're pre-planned for you, like they're automatically put on the ground, but you can drag them around before the battle begins, so you can sort of set up your formation. And then you have a hand of 5 cards and 3 energy points to go along with it. Then you can play these cards. And then when you hit end turn, the battle plays out for roughly 7 to 10 seconds, something like that. At the end of that time, you're given 3 more energy points and then 5 new cards. And then time pauses so that you can play these cards. And then you play the cards, enter, and then the battle plays out for another 10 seconds or so. So you're going to be playing these cards in between the auto battler. You can't actually control what monsters attack what or anything like that. There are some cards that you can play to where, like, you can crowd control, kind of, sort of. For example, you can, say, CC this person over here and stun them for 2 seconds. Or you can kick this monster in this direction and it'll send them flying. So there's a couple of things that you can do to sort of CC, but you really can't directly control any of these things. You just have to hope that your monsters defeat the enemies before they defeat you. Now, your friendly monsters, including your hero boss, which you get to choose one in the beginning, and I think there's 2 to choose between. One is unlocked, and then you unlock the second one once you beat your run, I think. But that's another complaint. There's only, like, 1 person to choose. I would really like to see more options when you first start out. But anyway, each of your monsters, including your boss, has a mana bar that fills up. And when it fills up completely, ability activates. And again, that ability will change depending on the monster, depending on what they can do, depending on the abilities of your boss and that kind of thing. So you can sort of chain things, which is nice. Like, I had this wolf that I could summon. Like, I got a card, it was like a wolf summon card. And for 2 energy, I could summon this wolf monster on the field. And when his mana bar filled up, he assigned 10 shield to everyone or 25 shield to everyone, which sort of blocks damage. And my hero boss had the ability, whenever anyone receives a shield, they also receive 10 might. So because I was stacking shields on everyone with various cards and abilities, I was also gaining might. Might is like a one-time consumable thing where your next attack does a lot of damage. Okay, so I was able to stack things up that way. Another cool ability I had was this gargoyle would make clones of itself, and I was able to sort of use certain cards to feed that. So again, there's different strategies in this game depending on how you want to play it. The cards are fairly unique. Like there's spell cards, there's ailment cards, there's talent cards. Certain abilities are like every time, or there are certain relics that are like every time you play a spell card, this happens. Or every time you play an enchant card, this happens. So there's a lot of cool ways to combine these cards as you're playing. Again, my only real complaint is the lack of the lack of boss monsters to choose between, the lack of control. I know it's an auto battler, but I wish there were more things I could do during a fight other than just watch and cast spells. Now, again, that defeats the whole auto battler thing, so I can understand why, the developers went in that particular direction. I would also love to see more content overall, and more survivability, and more. I would also like to see difficulty settings too. The game as it stands is fairly difficult. The game limits you to 3 helpers in your party. So you've got your boss, and then you can have up to, I think it was 3 party members, something like that. So even though you might be collecting more monsters along the way, you can only assign 3 to your party at a time. So against an elite boss, even though you've got all these shiny units in reserve, you can't play them because your party limit is fixed. You can upgrade your party limit, like, once you beat a run, or a boss, rather, and you move on to the next map. I think one of the upgrade options is to increase your party limit, which I took. But still, like, it sucked that I had 6 monsters, but I could only play 3 of them at a time. And they do not heal in between fights. Luckily, I did manage to snag a few cards that allows me to heal, but they're cards that you can only use one time, and then they're gone for the rest of the fight. I upgraded those as quickly as I could to remove that consume ability. Anyway, so this game has a lot of promise. I'm enjoying my time with it. I like an auto battler. I like deck building roguelike, so all of that is good. So I am excited to see where this game is going to go. Again, this is a pre-early access build, so maybe some of the complaints that I have, I would love to see, at least like on an easy mode, maybe your units heal for, say, 100 health after every battle or after every encounter, just to give your units more survivability. Like I ended up down this path and there were no healing tents for like half the map, which sucked. So I had 8 units in all, and all of them were low on health, and I couldn't do anything against the final boss. So I wish there were, I don't know, more consistent ways to heal your troops in between. Again, that's where that whole easy mode would come into play. Just an idea. So do I recommend this one? Yes, absolutely. If you like a deck builder and you like auto battlers, give this one a look. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I have to publish. This is Vince, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.